With millions of Kenyans facing hunger, the government has begun the distribution of relief food to the more than 14 counties affected by drought. But the move by the government has left experts questioning the government's commitment to ensuring a food-sufficient and secure country. Year in, year out, several strategies have been put on paper and launched to tackle the now frequent droughts. But as Enock Sikolia reports, these strategies have remained just that.
Once again, the drought is here, and as always happens, Kenyans are again caught unprepared as a nation. And the government, as usual, is setting aside 5 billion shillings to mitigate its effect in more than 14 counties. A rather usual reactionary approach, with the government promising food and water tracking services to hunger-stricken counties.
Hatutakuwa na Mkenya anapoteza maisha kwa ajili ya hii njaa, na serikali itaweka chakula cha kutosha tusambaze kila maeneo ambayo yameathirika na ukame.
The country's budget has been focusing on relief food, disaster management and medical insurance. According to a quarterly brief of the Parliamentary Budget Office released in April, this is indicative of a reactive budget rather than a visionary budget. Dr. Alex Awiti of Gov't University says while these are critical expenditures, the government is responding to a crisis that could have been prevented. He says the reactive budget is actually an outcome of poor policy direction.
But if in rural areas, farmers are purchasing a huge amount of the staple food that they eat, then I think that's a problem. So the government should then wake up and rethink their strategy.
The story of drought and famine is almost becoming a cliche in Kenya. Despite the existing drought early warning systems in the country, drought disaster response mechanisms and coping strategies remain miserably wanting. Over the years, the impact of drought occurrences in Kenya has been worsened by lack of sufficient investments in agriculture. Every single year we have these incremental budgets that support agriculture. A lot of it goes into running wasteful bureaucracies in the Ministry of Agriculture, I'm sorry to say. In its brief, the Parliamentary Budget Office maintained that viable solutions to the problem of food security exist in the numerous development policy documents that the government has developed but is yet to properly implement. Key documents containing viable strategies to enhance food security include the Vision 2030, the Third Medium-Term Plan 2018-2022, Agriculture Sector Development Strategy 2010 to 2020, Kenya Climate Smart Agriculture Strategy 2017 to 2026, and Ending Drought Emergencies Common Program Framework 2015. Agriculture is a key component of the economic pillar of Vision 2030. Under this section, the country had a vision of putting 404,800 hectares under irrigation by 2017, especially in the arid and semi-arid areas in Turkana and Tana Delta. The impact was to be an increase in irrigated land by 1 million acres, especially in Turkana and Tana Delta. It's now 2019, and this is still a dream. Some projects are implemented half-heartedly, and many are abandoned along the way. Under the State Department of Irrigation lie more than 10 large-scale irrigation projects that were mooted to enhance food production. The most prominent of these projects was the Galana Kulalu Food Security Project, developed mainly to enhance maize production. At maximum capacity, the multi-billion shillings project was to reportedly contribute 41% of the country's maize consumption. Almost 5 years since its commencement and millions of shillings later, the project seems to have failed to meet its production target. Audit reports have revealed financial impropriety in the management of the project.
We cannot succeed unless we do away with corruption and embezzlement of funds. The biggest threat to our food security today is corruption in its various forms.
The latest mega agricultural projects to face such challenges are the Aror and Kimorel multi-purpose dams. Water from these two dams was to irrigate more than 5,000 hectares of land in the two villages of Elgeyo Marakwet, enhancing food production in the long run. Dogged with the allegations of corruption and misappropriation of funds, the two projects have stalled despite over 20 billion shillings having been spent spent, the situation is replicated in numerous other irrigation projects that continue to face varying challenges. Enock Sikolia, Citizen TV, Nairobi.